Go. Welcome back to New Saga Anime Review episode number 4. Yeah, well, the thing is, prior to watching this episode, I actually had pretty much finished the manga adaptation of the light novel series for this one, which I had I think it was like 9 more volumes left, and the thing is, this episodes are adapting from the 3rd volume for the series. Yep. So here's what happened in this episode. So basically we have Kyle and his group. First of which you have Kyle and the sword, and then of course basically Lloyd comes in, where he basically was kind of trying to figure the prince's schedule. They figure a particular way, and of course they figure the prince not be killed. So basically they gather 4, and so they appear basically to follow them shadowly and protect them. And of course, basically, Kyle inadvertently reveals that he does know about Urza's birthmark on her butt. The one shaped like a heart. And Urza basically is like... And of course, basically, where Kyle has been keeping Lloyd from peeping on the girls. Despite the fact he already knows what Urza looks like butt naked, because in the previous timeline, these two were lovers. That's how he knows this stuff. He's not going to tell Urza that, but... Which I found to be so funny. So then the sword transforms into a hawk, which follows them for a while, and then while she's following all the disgusting stuff, and then the king's guards turn on the town guards, killing them, and then they proceed to lay bait for monsters. Yep, because it was suspected in the previous episode that the monster deck was a cover story for an assassination. And then they get there pretty quickly. They defeat the guards, tie them up, and then they have to deal with a horde of hellhounds. And mention, there's a Hydra coming, so Kyle deals with that, while everyone else deals with the hounds, and of course, keeping an eye on the princess who's unconscious. So then he finds the Hydra. Yep. By the way, when it comes to Hydras in the anime I've seen, this is only the second time I have ever seen a Hydra ever depicted in a Japanese anime. The first one was in Mushoku Tensei, and they had it was much bigger than this. And they dealt with it by having Paul slice off his heads, and Rudius being the one cauterizing the wounds. Here it's just Kyle by himself. He could be like, it might be 3 heads. No, it's freaking 8 heads. Damn. Normally, whenever the head slicing happens, when I think of it, usually 2 heads pop up in this place. This one just 1. Okay, that's a little different. This one definitely looks small than the one in Mushoku Tensei. The one in Mushoku Tensei looked like a freaking giant. It was huge in that one. Now, the thing is, a Hydra is something from Greek mythology. Not something you would find very much in a Japanese anime. So, keeps slicing heads off, doesn't do much work, and of course he gets tossed against the street. Then he basically was defeated by cutting a hole in his chest and putting explosives in it, basically exploding stones. First he used blizzard ones, and he used some explosive ones to blow him up. And he gets back, everyone's happy to see him, he's perfectly fine, and he's covered in Hydra goop, so he proceeds to wear himself while he proceeds to give the antidote to the princess and her ladies in waiting. The maid thinks basically they're here to hurt the princess, but no, they're not. The princess basically is like, no, they're actually the ones that saved us. Maybe strangers, but they're the ones that saved us. And they look at the carnage outside. Yeah, she suspects who the person responsible for this. The guy who traded Kyle in the original timeline. He was shocked the fact that because he knew about this assassination attempt, but he did not know who was behind it. That's one thing he didn't know. Yeah. So pretty much basically like, well, then they proceed to, Edward gets in carriage, the maid drives the carriage, while it looks like the prince, you finally see him in the episode, and then the captain of the second squad basically sends out a squad to investigate what's going on. So, along comes the interesting idea to have, get this, the very same monster bait they used to try to kill the princess to basically buy time to get away from the king soldiers. But really good episode. Yep, got about 2 more anime to go for today, and then I'm caught up. But in the case before today, that was a lot. This was the only one. But next up, now there's no case closed this week. Nope. I haven't checked the manga yet per se. I'll probably check it tomorrow. But next up is going to be Scooped Up by an S-rank adventurer. So please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications. Okay, next video. Bye.